this weekend we went to the movies and we saw Straight Outta Compton.
Hey, we did too.
That movie was so good.
So good.
I was so proud. Like, I was nervous. And after the fact, I was like, well, I don't know why I was nervous, because Ice Cube really does not, he doesn't even hold the reputation that I kind of pictured in my brain about the movie. But I was just like, Straight Outta Compton, oh, I hope it's not going to be like ghetto and like all this
But
good
do you
stuff
remember
and
those times?
gangs and, yeah, I do. But I was just nervous. I don't know, everybody was just so excited about it, and then that whole social media thing that started happening, straight out of this and straight out of that. No, we don't.
Straight out of Dick Rock.
No, we don't, because I have to show you this one. It was so funny. My friend, this girl, it's a funny one, girl. It says Straight Out of Bundles. And this girl has like a little a chicken head ponytail back there. It's so funny. So that's what I was like, stuff like that. It was just making me nervous. But I was really, really proud when I walked out of there.
Yeah.
I was like, they did really good.
That.
His son did amazing. Like, all the actors did really good. Like, they were a great representation of the person that they portrayed.
Because,
it was very good.
Lil Eazy-E actually wanted to play his father, which he looked exactly like him, and he didn't get the part, but he wasn't mad about it, because they were telling him, even though he acts, he doesn't have enough experience to handle that part, how important Eazy-E's role was. That was like the most important part of the movie, because it had so many different dynamics, his highs, his lows, his sickness, his health, his hustle. That man who played Eazy-E did the dang on thing. He did that.
Yeah, he did.
He really did.
And like everybody said, it was just perfect timing with everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I was even talking to my husband exactly with that, but I was even telling my husband it's perfect timing with everything that went on with Drake and Meek Mill, because he was talking about like he didn't write his wrongs. Dude, like, who cares?
Ice Cube was the first ghost writer ever.
Right.
But you know what? It also, because my son, he was like, oh, Meek Mill was whack and Drake was good. And Drake did do a good diss record. But I had just told him, I was like, you haven't heard diss records till you go back to like Tupac or Biggie, Who Shot You, or Ice Cube, No Vaseline. Like, back then, when you did a diss record, you might end up in a bag. Like,
I'm telling you. I remember Bone Thugs and Harmony had a diss record that I used to play all the time.
Do you remember Ice Cube's videos where he was making fun of Eazy-E? Oh my God, those were diss records. I was telling Dave, I appreciate Drake and me for trying to keep this thing alive, but like, it's cool, but it's nothing like those late 80s, early 90s, and I guess because all of my brothers are like in their 40s, so they're like 10 years older than me, that I was just all into it, and so I just really love that movie. Shout out to WMRM, because we all went as a family.
Oh, I saw that.
Yes, we were like 20 deep, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. It was so funny. We were in line. We were at the mall at Grapevine. My husband had to get his phone fixed, so we were like, let's just watch the movie here. And it was about 3-something, and we were in line. No, it was 2-something, and the next one was at 3:15, and it was like only one ticket left for that one, and so we had to wait for like the 4 o'clock show. Mm-hmm. But it was a family in front of us, a Caucasian family, and they had like 4 kids with them.
Ooh.
I was like, are they really trying to see that movie? And I was like, oh, okay, well, we'll just get the 4 o'clock one.
Speaking of which, okay, so my son is 13.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to see Straight Outta Compton. He said no. We told him no. Even though I know back in the day I watched Boys in the Hood and Poetic Justice and Menace to Society, I did watch all of those movies around his age. So me and my husband were contemplating on taking him at a later time. Mm-hmm. Well, he goes over to his grandmother's house, and my 6-year-old called to check on him. I'm like, hey. He's like, hey, Mom, Dalen went to see a rated R movie. And I was like, what? Who? He went with his big cousin, our big cousin. I was like, why would they take him to see, a rated R movie? I was like, what did he go see? Straight Outta Compton? He's like, yeah. And so I was like, okay. So I was mad at the adult for not asking the adult. Right. I was like, well, 13-year-olds can't do that anyway. If you give him an opportunity. So we go pick him up, and we're like, Dalen, we told you cannot go see Straight Outta Compton. You know that, right? And he was like, well, I already saw it on my phone. See, we were going to let you make it, And we're going to blame the
goodness.
adult. You're so smart and want to tell me you already saw it on your phone. How about you give me that phone? No, because you snuck and did it.
But did you tell him, hey, don't try to download this movie on your phone and watch it?
We told him he can't watch it.
But how do you know he didn't already watch it on his phone prior to you telling him that?
He didn't, because
you
he
don't
wanted
know
us to
that.
take him to see it. Why would he want us to take him to see it if he already saw it? And then I don't think he saw anything on his phone. He was trying to get himself out of trouble, which he wasn't even in trouble. So you got yourself in trouble.
That was just like so, I don't know.
Oh, whatever.
I'm glad you're not my mom.
That's what somebody else said. But I was going to take them to see it because, first of all, Daylon loves music.
I think that he would have, I think it would have been good for him.
And as long as you were able to talk to the kid, and it was a really good movie. So I want to kind of go back with him and see it because I want to explain some things, especially like the police brutality and the Rodney King incident and the HIV. It's so many different things you can take out of that and pour back into your kids to make it positive.
Exactly.
So I he's okay.
Exactly.
I gave his phone back.
Oh, I was getting ready to say, when can he have his phone back?
Yeah, it's okay. I love my baby.
All right, well, what do we have for the juice today?
Okay, you know what? And see, every time I have my mind set on something else happens. But okay, so I'm just going to give a little bit of juice on this part since we're already talking about Straight Outta Compton. I have to tell you this. So, N.W.A, right? You know N.W.A?
No.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, so she's on R&B Divas, right? Do you ever watch R&B Divas?
No, I don't.
Sounds like a little Minnie Mouse.
No, I can't do these reality shows anymore.
Okay, well.
It's an overload.
R&B Divas, she's trying to resurrect her career. Anyway, she was really hot back in the 80s, in the early 90s, because she was a part of Death Row. Anyway, well, okay, I'll explain that later. But anyway, she's the baby mama of Dr. Dre.
Okay.
And I think she's.
I remember Tupac said her name on one of his raps.
On No Vaseline, he talked about N.W.A too.
Okay.
Okay, so N.W.A was with Dr. Dre. She has a child by Dr. Dre. Okay, she's a singer. She did some songs. She did a lot of Dre and Snoop. She did a lot of like the vocals, the female vocals on a lot of that stuff.
Okay.
Well, she also has a child by Suge Knight. You remember Suge Knight and Dre both part of that
Wow,
role.
yeah.
Thank you. So she was with Suge too. And so she was talking about on the show how she was, suffer with domestic violence, and she suffers with thoughts of suicide, and she was, had a real traumatic experience from her, previous relationship, how her boyfriend used to beat on her. So everybody automatically assumes it was Suge Knight. He's the one that's crazy. No, it was Dr. Dre. And then somebody put, that's why they call it Beats by Dre.
Oh my goodness.
So childish.
So did she say that it was Dre?
Yeah, she said it was Dr. Dre that used to beat on her a lot. And
wow.
I don't think she's the first woman to say that. So anyway, before Straight Outta Compton came out, there was a lot of like domestic violence groups that were trying to boycott the movie. And saying we have respect of person, why are we going to support Dr. Dre? Look, we trying to see Straight Outta Compton. I don't condone domestic violence, but I can't change that he did it, so I'm not gonna not see the movie. He wasn't the only person in the movie. Anyway, that's not even what I was trying to talk about. That was just a side note. N.W.A is mad because she wasn't in the movie. Because her character was not portrayed, and she was a big, intricate part of Death Row and with Dre.
But was she a big part of N.W.A?
Well, you remember Suge Knight had a big role in this movie.
He did, but it was not about Death Row and Suge Knight. That's not what the movie was about. That's
what I said. That was my opinion. And a lot of people was like, well, you can't tell a story right if you don't tell the entire story. And she was a part of his life, a big part of his life during that time when he was with N.W.A with Death Row. However, this, to me, it wasn't the time or the place to talk about N.W.A in their drama. To me, I didn't see the point of her character having to be in the movie. But they're kind of comparing it to having that movie about Biggie without Lil Kim or Faith Evans being a part of the movie. I get it.
So but from what I'm hearing, it seems like she was more of a bigger part in Suge's.
No. She was with Drake. They were together. They were a couple. Like,
but it wasn't about like who these people were with. Like I understand like they were together, there was a couple, but like what role did she play in the N.W.A movement? What role did she play in that? Not death row, not lyrically, not musically.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm playing devil's advocate with you, but I agree with what you're saying. I just don't understand why she felt the need that she needed to, her role or her character should have been portrayed in the movie. I get what you're trying to say, but really nobody's significant other was just really in the movie like that, except for when Ice Cube brought in his wife, and then towards the end you saw maybe a scene or two with Eazy-E and his significant other, but other than that they weren't really in the movie like that, and then there was too much drama and
and that's what I was getting ready to say. That would have just created more drama, and I think again that's not what the movie was about.
And it's almost like that Aaliyah movie. Like, it was too much focus on R. Kelly. It's like, okay, we know she was with him, and we know about that, but can we get to her life? Like, we want to know about N.W.A. Like, I don't want to know about what happened with Michelle. Anyway,